Another Monday morning comes around and we are back at it, and let's have a look at what we've got for this weekend. We've got 13 orders on Bricklink, 113 lots in total, and much quieter weekend this week, to be honest, which is to be expected, I think, given the time of year and the fact that we're heading into the Easter period. I'm expecting a couple of quiet weeks, to be honest, as we move into the kids being on holiday and people probably going away over the Easter period as well. So 13 on Bricklink, 8 on Brick Owl, and just 1 on eBay. eBay really slowing down for me as well, but that's to be expected, for the reasons I just mentioned, but also because I haven't actively been adding stuff to eBay either. Now it's what, 10:50 in the morning now, so I've spent all the morning getting all of these orders picked. I just need to get them packed now and off to the post office, so we'll just do a quick flyby to show you what we've got. Mostly parts orders, so not a huge amount to point out. This one was a nice order, all plates, but the nice thing is they've took all of my brick separators as well, both orange and dark teal ones as well, so always nice to see those move in. Minifigure there and some minifig parts. Lots of friend stuff going out here. We've got a mix of all sorts, and interestingly, those are the 3 cannons that I pulled out of the used bulk at the back end of last week and listed along with some other things. So I think I only listed about 3 things out of that bulk lot, and I think the 3 things have sold already, or most of them have at least. A couple more minifigs. We've got a Lloyd going out there. More friends heads, and the friend stuff is surprisingly popular, to be honest. So don't shy away from listing friends torsos, legs, heads, etc. We've got the Princess Leia going out on eBay, and a couple of bits here going out as well on Bricklink, and a few more over here. And a couple of these orders were from people who left comments. This was one in particular, left a comment about loving the vlogs, and you know, were happy to be placing an order with us, and just wanted to let us know that they enjoy the content, which is always really nice. So gonna get this lot packed away and ready for the post office, as I said. Possibly gonna go to the container this afternoon, pick up another tub of used bulk. I've still got this batch of parts to put away as well, and a few other odds and ends bags. I may actually spend some time getting back to minifigures a little bit this week as well at some point, and start and work through the tubs again of torsos, headgear, and eventually maybe heads even. That doesn't mean I'm going to start tackling this lot. We'll probably let that bulk grow and just see what we get in there. But as always, lots to do, and best get on and do some of it. Just back at the container once again, and I've just loaded a few things into the car. We'll show you what when I get back, but I'm taking another tub of used bulk. Now I would take more, but I just don't have the room back in the store to keep it all, so I don't want to get overwhelmed when I'm there. I've got a bit of a mess going on here because I've had to move boxes out of the way that were laid around here. So we've got, for instance, this box of what I can only assume is used parts. Certainly looks that way, but they look like they're all largely sort of pre-sorted into various types and colours of brick, and there looks a few interesting things in there. Wasn't sure what these were. I've not seen these before. These kind of projectiles or something like that. They're new to me. And we've got a couple of boxes like this one where parts are all bagged up, and if I'm honest, I'm not clear whether they're actually used on new parts. And we've got a few boxes like that. We've got this one here, another one with all black parts in. This one here is pretty much definitely used because it says used overflow on the top. But I might have to reach out to Brick Pickers and just ask for a bit of guidance on a couple of these to see whether you can recall if they're used or not. If I'm in any doubt, of course, I'll list them as used. But I need to get back here, spend a couple of hours and get tidied up a little bit more. You know, try and get a little bit better organized. It'll be much better when I've got rid of all of these, of course, and they're almost all empty now. And someone did ask me for the dimensions of them, but I'm not quite sure what to give other than the width and depth, because I notice they're obviously kind of you know, stackable or configurable, because I can see here that there's some black drawers being added to a grey stack. So I don't think any of these are kind of standard height. I think you can, you know, take them apart and make them as high or as low as you want. Of course, there'll only be so many tops, so that's an overriding issue, I guess. But I'll have to try and get back with the tape measure and measure up properly. Now, this is what we've brought back from the container this time. As I probably repeat every time, my aim is not to bring too much back because I just don't have the space around me to have too much. It just gets in the way and becomes a real pain. But this is more of the drawers that we've emptied. There's really very few drawers still to empty now into bags, and then all of those black drawers that you'll have seen at the side of the container will be empty, and they'll be going up for sale before too long at all. Now, I have had people ask me for measurements, and I forgot to take my tape measure with me today. One thing I did notice though is that the height of the units is I don't know if I said this in the previous clip, but the height of the units seems to be all over the place because the Brick Pickers have clearly added drawers together, and that is one of the pluses of them, I guess, is that you can take them apart and create sort of larger stacks, smaller stacks, etc. To suit your space. Now, I brought another tub of mixed Lego here. This one says it's 9 kilos in weight, and just looking through the tub, and again, I've just took this as the frontmost tub. Haven't you know, gone looking for the best tub in there or anything like that. So this is what it is. I can see immediately again on the top lots of dimensions related stuff here in terms of the vehicles, at least, if not minifigures. There's Bart's vehicle. So I'm probably going to start sorting through this tomorrow, and we'll see what we can find in here exactly. But there is a minifig there as well, so there is at least one minifigure in here, if not more. There's some parts from a Dalek as well. So we'll have a good rummage and we'll look at this in more detail when I start getting this broken down and put into its various categories. So one of the jobs for today is updating all of our shipping methods, pricing, because from today, 3rd of April, Royal Mail have increased all of the prices across the board, and I'm in the middle of doing that now, and I've got to be honest, it's one of the jobs that I like least about running the store. Having to, you know, do all of the updates to the various shipping methods can be quite tedious and time consuming, and you know, I like to focus on the tasks that, you know, are gonna drive sort of revenue for the store. They're going to increase inventory, give the customer a real sort of benefit in that there's more stock available to them, etc. And this really, you know, just doesn't excite me. Now, of course, I need to make sure that I'm up to date and accurate, because I don't want to be losing money. Now, I always charge all of my postage at cost anyway, at list, etc. So you'll see that I'm sending at exactly the prices shown in the price guide here. And it's going to take a little while to complete. Needs to be done against each of the shipping methods on here, and also all of the shipping methods on Brick Owl, and of course anything that you have on your shipping policy also needs to be updated as well, to show the appropriate weights. If you've got sort of weight tables on there, they all need to be updated as well. So thankfully this doesn't come around too often, but it's just one of them tasks that has to be done. It's Tuesday the 4th of April, and I seem to have woken up with a bit of a sniffle and a sore throat this morning, so I'm hoping that's not going to turn into anything, but we'll see how that develops. It's a pretty quiet morning this morning. 3 orders on Bricklink, and in fact that's about to get a little smaller, because the best value order in there, 22.19, has just been requested to be cancelled, because the buyer says that almost every item in the inventory, I assume they mean in their order, is incorrect. So I'm not going to argue about it or cause a fuss. I'll just cancel the order. It's not a problem. And we've got just one on Brick Owl, and we've got 2 on eBay. So this is not going to take very long at all, but that's not a bad thing, because I can get back to doing some sorting, organising, and focus on getting more parts uploaded. Quick look at this morning's orders, not too many to mention. A couple of eBay orders going out for Star Wars magazines, and a little order going out here for this boat hull, which I listed last week, again out of the bulk lot that I picked up, and also this Canon base that also came from the bulk lot last week. So always good to see those things moving, and a couple more little parts orders here. I'm still feeling pretty rubbish, so I'm gonna take it fairly easy today, I think, and probably do some minifigure stuff and get this work through some of this, and just stuff I can do at my desk without too much fuss. I've done a COVID test just to see whether I've got COVID, but it's coming up negative, so not sure what's going on. Sometimes these things take a couple of days to come out, but I'm gonna press on and see how we get on. I spent the last 30 minutes or so listing some grey torsos, and in amongst the torsos, I found the torso for this minifigure. Let me just see if I can blow it up. So I found this torso, and the torso's worth probably a couple of pounds, but notice that it belonged to this figure, which is worth about £30+ or so. So I started to see if I just happen to have any other parts in the various bags and tubs around me. So I had a look for the head and have found the head that goes with it. I'll just try and get a better look. Not focusing very well, but so I found the head. Unfortunately, I can't find the head gear though. And the headgear is worth approximately, well, the last one sold for £16, and there are none available at the moment, at least in this country. There are some available in other countries, but ranging from sort of £12 onwards. So it makes it a bit difficult to make the figure complete. But looking at the head last sold for nearly £14. So I've decided to list the head and the torso separately, and I think that's the best approach. But amazing to find a head worth £14 or so, £13 to £14. So nice little find there. Couple more orders just came in. One is for 4 of these round tiles. Now these are the tiles that I sent the large order off to the US last week. For those who watched, someone bought 500 and something of those for about £350. So 4 of those going off to someone in the UK, and also got this little order for 3 instruction manuals, all the same one, and some parts there as well. And still feeling pretty rough, to be honest, so I haven't done an awful lot today. I am contemplating trying to spend an hour on the bulk tub that I've got in here down there, but I'm just not sure it's really worthwhile today or not, and I'm just really not feeling it. So I'm gonna get these packed up, I'm gonna get off to the post office, and then I'll see how I feel when I get back. Wednesday the 5th of April, and I'm feeling a little bit better today. Still not 100%, but feeling a bit better. I have done a COVID test just to check it's nothing sinister, and that's come up clear, so hopefully it's just a bit of a cold, a bit of a bug. But I didn't feel great yesterday, and if I'm honest, I didn't do an awful lot. We've got 5 orders today, so it is pretty quiet at the moment, and we're only at the 5th, obviously, but for this time of the month I'm about 40% down on what I was last month, although last month was a really good month for me. Now let's see what we've got. We've got the largest order of the day here, which was 96 lots, and they're clearly building something which is dark blue in colour, because almost everything that they bought was in a dark blue colour. A couple of minifigures in there as well, but a nice little order there. More parts going out, a little torso, a nice order going off to France, which is largely minifigures or minifigure parts, and then we've got a little bit of Minecraft things going out as well. So I'm going to get this lot packed up and ready for the post office, and then I'm fancying having a little bit of a dive into the used stuff down there. So I might rig up the camera and do another sort of 20 minutes of sorting through that on camera, and you know, work through the rest of the day. I'm just about to upload another BSX file that I've been having on the side for the last day or two, and we've got 5,571 items in 182 lots, is that, for £475. So this is a mix of new parts and also torsos, and the odd thing in here, I think I showed you yesterday, this head that was worth about £13, which is a nice one, and lots of other bits and pieces that are worth a couple of pound maybe. And then we've got lots of new parts going up as well. Now, I've dipped back below the 700,000, which is to be expected, and the lot count's dropped a bit as well. So I'm hoping that, well, this will get me back over the 700 mark. And this is the struggle of running a store, is trying to maintain that inventory, because no sooner do you get it uploaded and then you're you're selling the inventory through orders, etc. And that just, it's just a never ending slog, to be honest. So I'm just uploading this as I speak. No reason to really check this through. I'll get to the bottom just to verify. 5,571 items, 182 lots for 475, and let's upload that to the store. And we're going to send out our wanted list notifications. And then if I do a quick look up here, that's going to send 109 new lots by the look of it. So let's just visit the store and check out down the bottom here what we've gone up to. So we're now up to 704,786 items in 12,753 lots. So gets me back above the 700. I'm still down on lots by about 250. So need to keep increasing those, and it's probably going to be impossible to do this week, given it's a short week with Easter. So in the UK we'll be shut on Good Friday and also Easter Monday. So yeah, that short week's going to make that difficult. It's a quiet morning this morning, Thursday the 6th of April. Just these 4 orders ready to go out. One nice thing about this was one of the orders has bought 1,000 black axes, and for those of you who've been watching my videos of the store acquisition, etc., you'll know that I had about something like 30,000 of them or something. So there's still a few to go of those. But nice to see some move. So got to get these packed up and ready for the post office, of course. But one thing I never got to yesterday was this bulk lot. So I'm going to spend some time sorting through this, and I'll try and get the camera set up, and let's see what we find as we go through it. Okay, so here we are with the latest bulk lot of Lego that I'm going to be sorting out. And the first thing that I noticed on the top, much like the last one, is that there's tons of dimension stuff on the top of here. So everywhere I look, there are various dimension builds. And there's the A-Team bust, for instance. So tons of dimension stuff. Now, I'm not sure what to do with these, really, whether they're going to be useful to maybe sell on eBay without the figures, because I'm assuming the figures aren't in here, of course. So I'm just going to put them to one side, as I did last time. Things like the plates and stuff here are things that are going to need breaking down. I'm not going to be getting into breaking stuff down on the video because it's just not very conducive to time, etc. Is that, I don't know what that one's from. Was that a Sonic one or something? Not 100% sure, but there's bits of the Aquaman and other dimension stuff here as well, and lots of discs. So I'll be picking those out and putting them to one side as well. Now we have got this little build, and I'm not sure how complete that is. So what I'm going to do is put that to one side rather than just taking the figure off. It looks like it's a Lloyd Ninjago figure, of course, and we'll see how we go with that. Printed parts, I've got a little tub at the side of me which I'll put them away in. Looks like one from the Joker little Harlequin vehicle there.
We've got more and more dimension stuff here. I think that's dimensions as well. I think that's from Chima, but so I'll put that on one side. Yeah, that looks like they're Chima builds. Got a little Bart one there, and they just keep coming. All of these are dimensions builds. We've got the little helicopter there. So yeah, lots to put aside. We've got a Dalek there. Got stuff from the Simpsons, and I mean, just look at this. You know, there's 3 different Simpsons sets. So they obviously sold off the figures and just put the little builds into here for now. Not sure what the intention was with them. I'll put the big stuff into a different tub there. Same with printed pieces. I'm going to pop that out, and then I've got another place for windows, doors, and things like that. In fact, put that there. Plates will go into another tub to the side. I said I wasn't going to be breaking these down, but I will as I go, since they're not very big. And you have to excuse me if I'm a bit sniffly still from a cold or whatever it is I've got or had. Still not feeling 100%. No idea whether that's a dimensions bit or not. I'm going to chuck that in with it though, just in case. And some bits and bobs here to break down. Again, it's a small build, but I don't know what it is for sure. The bits that I know for sure are dimension stuff, then I'll break them down. The only reason I'm putting the parts aside that are, you know, these little sort of sub-assemblies, I just don't want to break them down and waste the time on the video. Normally, I'd probably do them as I go. But for the purposes of the video, I'll just restrict how much of that I do. Now, I'm just spotting that there's a base plate at the back of there, which is nice. That'll sell for a few pounds. And then there's another big plate here with a nice printed tile on there saying welcome home. Little welcome mat thing there, so always good. It's a little build there that doesn't look too hard to break down, so oops. So let's just break that and get that put away. Stairs and things I put to one side. I've already got a tub for those. There's more Daleks, more and more dimension stuff, more Simpsons dimensions. So you know, I'm already, just to give you an idea on the dimension stuff, we're already at that, which is crazy. Now we have got things like these were from a dimension set, one of the story packs, I think, but I'll be just putting them to one side. Put little fences and things to the side as a different lot there. Just break some of this down. And you know, I don't want to waste your time on the video particularly, but there's a bit of a probably dimensions set with a printed tile on there. More of those fence pieces. Excuse the coughing, and my throat is so dry actually, from, you know, just the cold. Just gonna grab a drink. And we got some wedge plates and things here. Just trying to have a look through to see what else we've got. There's another little build of some sort of vehicle there. I'll put to one side. Just wanted to see whether there was any other kind of really interesting parts in here. I'll just break this one down, not too much to it. That's a nice find. Little red octopus there, usually sell for a little bit, so it's quite nice to come across that. We still keep coming across these little things that I think are dimension sets, not sure, but there's tons of the discs in here. Minifigure, nothing special of course, but nonetheless good to be finding minifig parts in there. It's part of a I'll put that in the minifig part because it's part of a Unikitty figure. Got another minifig. And this is just city stuff, but still, they all sell. So good to be spotting minifigs in here again. That plate off, and then most of this looks like tiles. More printed stuff. Some little shield there. I thought it was a Gungan shield at first, but it's not. Still finding tons of dimension stuff and little builds and, you know, bits of what was obviously a fire engine or something. So quite a lot here to, you know, to spend time at and break down. Now that's slightly more worrying. These are fake bricks, and these are the first I've come across in the last couple of batches. So they're going to go straight in the bin. I don't do anything with fake stuff. I know some people keep them and will separate them and sell them, but I don't have the time, space or energy to be bothered with that, to be quite honest with you. So not something I'm particularly interested in doing. And this is where it gets concerning, because you've got a mix now. Them first two bricks that I pulled off were actual Lego pieces, but now these are, well, that's a Lego plate. But then, and then here, typical. So you've got two bricks which are 1x4 bricks. One of them is a Lego brick and one of them is a fake. So this is what you need to be really wary of when you're pulling things off, because it's very easy to think that because they're part of the same build that they are all genuine Lego. And all of these, that's genuine Lego, and all of those were fake. So you got to be mindful, keep an eye on what you're picking. Now there's multiple options, or multiple times rather, that you're gonna get the opportunity to catch those things, of course. You know, this is only the first pass of going through items, so if I don't catch it now, then the likelihood is that I'll catch it further down the line, which is good. But at every opportunity that you're looking and you see things, then that's the time to be pulling it out and putting it in its appropriate place, you know. And if that happens to be the bin, then so be it. So I'm not intending to sort of spend hours doing this on camera, because I think it's probably pretty tedious for you to be watching it all, but I think it's always good to sort of see at least the initial look at the tub, and then if there's anything particularly interesting, I can circle back at the end of the video and show you some of that. That's a little build from the Batman Dimensions set, I think. So we're still finding lots of Dimensions stuff. Just seems to be never ending, to be honest with you. So I know the amount of Dimension stuff that Bricklink bought towards the end was quite staggering. I remember him telling me that he'd bought a massive collection off someone, and as you'll know, some of the Dimension stuff can be worth quite a bit of money. So, you know, the figures, things like your Sonics, etc., obviously sell really, really well. And it looks like what he's done is sold off the figures and had a lot of the builds here. Now there was, you might remember, a lot that I managed to list at the back end of last year. I managed to rebuild a lot of Dimension sets where I had the figures for them, and I sold them all on eBay. I think I've only got, in fact I've got them in a drawer down here, I've only got 4 left at the moment. I had instruction books and things like that. It may be that I can rebuild some, because I still do have some of the figures, and I'll look at that. I'm sure I could rebuild some vehicles now where I do have the figures, but obviously everything takes time. It's a matter of, you know, doing what you can when you can, and a matter of prioritizing. More fake bricks. Again, one fake brick on top of a genuine Lego piece, so that's the way it goes. And again, fake, real. So it is a bit of a pain once you know that there's fake stuff in a batch, because it means you've got to be extra careful about what you're picking out, and you know, what you're doing with it, because the last thing you want to be doing is sending fake Lego off to someone who doesn't do the world of good for your reputation, and then, you know, the likelihood is you're either going to have to resupply with genuine Lego, or you're going to have to refund. And you know, if you're resupplying, then the chances are it's costing you extra on your postage and things, so you just need to be careful. Again, lots of builds, building up down here, pardon the pun. More minifigs. I'm just going to have a little rummage through just to see if there's anything, you know, interesting to show you guys. Otherwise, I'm probably gonna, there's a little flash figure by the look of it, a little bit dusty, but that's probably worth a few pounds. So again, just to reiterate, you know, I'm kind of surprised when I come across the minifigures, because I really didn't expect to be finding minifigures in these batches. I assume that they've all been gone through pretty thoroughly, and have, you know, had all of the minifigures pulled out, but it's clearly not the case. So let's just have another little image further down. Nice little printed tile there. I'm not sure what it's from, but it looks interesting. Now, sometimes you find things in here and you think, well, that looks really interesting, and then you go and check it out and it's not worth anything hardly. But it's amazing how some things do, you know, surprise you, and you know, you find, you know, really good value in them. Lots of little Batman dimension things there. Makes it easy one to break apart, so I'll do that. And sometimes when you see these builds, it's obvious what they're from, and other times it's just not. Really depends on the knowledge that you've built up over your time with Lego, and whether you've built the sets. Often if you've built the sets, you will, you know, you'll spot something quite quickly and easily. Now, you know, I don't build that much, so it can be a, you know, little bit of an issue, but you know, as you're finding things and you learn what they are as you come to sell them, then you know, you become more and more knowledgeable over time. Now, that's a non-Lego part, so you're going to find things like that are, you know, need to go in the bin probably. Now, it's worth it if you're not 100% sure to just put it to one side, because I know I have thrown things away in the past and then later found out that they were actually, you know, genuine Lego parts, and it would have been worth something. So you do have to be a little bit careful with what you're doing. So let's just have a bit more rummage. Some big pieces down there that are going to need breaking apart. Just trying to see if I can spot anything interesting. More minifigs. Printed pieces. There's a Ghostbuster backpack of some sort. These alone, these little printed tiles can, you know, get you a reasonable price back on them. So try and get to the bottom of some of this. Just continuing to see lots and lots of dimension stuff. Again, more and more and more of the discs. I think the best thing to probably do now is probably stop the video, I think, and then I'll work my way through some of the tub, and as I come across anything more interesting, then we'll show you those at the end. So let me know if you think these are interesting, because I know some people like to kind of see what, you know, comes out of the tubs, but it's a balance between boring you to death with the videos constantly running, constantly just showing me pulling parts out and listing them, not listing, but you know, separating them, and like I say, I just don't want to bore you all to death. So I'll stop it there and come back later.
So I've had to stop sorting the used bulk, which is going well at the moment. We've got well down in the tub, and I'll get back to that shortly. But I had to stop because we got a couple more orders in. We got this order, which was 138 lots, and I had a bit of a problem with this because it was from a new user who immediately, having placed the order, asked to cancel it. And so I cancelled it without any problem, issued the refund, and then they said, oh no, actually I do want the parts. And one thing to note is, as a seller with a PayPal business account, when you refund someone, you don't get the fees back. So this cost me about £2.19 initially in fees just to cancel the order, which I don't think is on really, because obviously you know, it's cancelled as no fault of mine. But it turned out in the end, because the guy wanted them, he was happy to repay. He repaid, including the fees that it had cost me originally. So all's good. I think he's just a new buyer who was struggling with the platform a little bit and got a little bit confused. We've got another order here for a old castle minifigure. And we've got a green sort of forestman hat there, and a couple of other bits. So got to get these packed up. Got to go to the post office before too long, and then I'm going to get back and do as much of this as I can today. And that's going to be calling it a weekend once this is done, I think, because as I said earlier, with the Easter break, it's going to be an extended weekend for us. So I've been working on this for a couple of hours now, and got down a good chunk of what was in here. I could keep going, to be honest, but it's getting late in the day, and I want to get tidied up a little bit before the weekend, because as you can see, we've got a right mess going on. So just to give you some idea of what we've pulled out, this was the dimensions stuff. We've got a tub full of larger plates, and a few bigger ones there with a base plate and some 16 by 16s. Doors and windows. We've got a few large ship parts and things going on here, and the 1x brick bins pretty much full now. I need to get that out. You can just see a rogue brick in there. Need to get that out into the next size tub to free that up to add more parts. And the others are starting to fill nicely as well, with the 2x bricks and also the slopes there as well. Plates, you know, plenty of room in there still. 2x plates are getting pretty full. These two bins I think I'm gonna take away and replace them with other things, and not quite sure what those other things are yet. Maybe modified bricks or something like that, but we'll see. And in here we've added some more minifigs that we found in here, all basic type city type figs, and a few hair pieces and bits and pieces. Nothing that looks super interesting or particularly valuable. We have got a ton of stuff here that needs to be broken down more, and a tub of printed parts, etc. But right now we're going to get tidied up a little bit, consolidate this lot with some of the stuff from the last sort that I've got behind me, and get off to the post office and hopefully get tidied up. It's Saturday the 8th, and just getting a couple of orders out. With it being a long weekend, I you know, I'm trying to do everything I can to get orders out quickly and avoid delays. First order up is an interesting one in that they have bought all of the Velma parts, and now these are all listed as damaged, with the exception of the head, which I never ever listed.
I double checked and they were happy that they were actually damaged. In fact, they'd seen them on my vlog. So they'd actually bought the legs first and then asked when I was going to be listing the torso. So I listed the torso and they bought that as well. And then they mentioned the head. And the head I was never going to list because there are a few, you know, bits of damage on there. And I really didn't feel comfortable listing that, but I'm sending them that anyway. And they bought a few other bits and pieces, including a Unikitty. So as little as that looks, that was an expensive purchase for them, because each of the legs were £9 and £10 each. And then I think I did the torso at £17.50, and that's because although the damage, they're very sort of rare and valuable parts, so I listed them all roughly at half price. What a normal one would sell. And to be honest, if it were me, you know, at a distance, they don't look too bad unless you're really closely inspecting them. Anyway, other orders, some parts orders, and some minifigs going out here, including Cyberman and a Wong and a black and gold Spider-Man, etc. And then we've got a couple of eBay orders going out, 3 Friends figures and a Unikitty going out there as well. So that's going to be my lot for the weekend. There'll be no more orders going out besides those. Everything else is going to have to wait till Tuesday now, I'm afraid.